When did you get to learn that the biggest predictor for your long-term health isn't necessarily genetics, as most people say, but instead your daily habits? I've seen people, spend lots of money, to expensive gym memberships, supplements, having travels, and I don't blame them. That's actually what they really enjoy and what they feel like doing every time, because they can actually afford it. Most people can't really afford it, but probably you tapped on this video because you wanted to limit or learn how you can live healthier but at a very, very least cost. So you could be asking yourself who I am, who I am at this point. Yep, I'm Yaledi, I'm a medical student, and I'm your friend who would wish to see you healthier but at a very, very, very least cost possible. And that's my aim for the channel, for everyone that's here, and that's my wish that everyone that watches my videos really tries to learn something that will enable them live a healthy life without threatening their finances. And that's my primary goal. In this video, I'll share the habits that I learned as a medical student and that I really apply on a daily basis to help me live a healthy life, have a healthy body without necessarily having commitments and giving my medical expenses a higher value. These are my habits that I actually follow on a daily basis to live more healthy, and the number one habit that I really treasure so much is hydration. I have my big water bottle, certainly I don't know, but I have fun into it. That everyone, it just helps me measure the amount of water I take. I literally take 2 of them because that water bottle is like a liter. You get 1 liter, so I take 2 of them, but of course you could look at the bottle and say it's so big. You understand, it's actually too big. It's not fun taking the whole of it. Okay, I literally actually I think to everyone, taking water actually is not that much a good experience, because water is tasteless and what. So the mechanism I learned on how to do this is I don't know, but I put in some form of flavors. You get flavors, maybe fruit flavors and passion fruit flavors and what. Of course, for us here it's readily available. In Africa, you can easily get a fresh passion fruit, you can easily get a fresh orange, fresh lemon and what. So you add to the water, so as maybe it gives you the urge to drink it than necessarily plain water. But if at all maybe you're in an area where it's hard, actually fresh fruits are so expensive, I think can just get the processed ones. We have processed flavors. Even us here, actually we have the processed flavors. Okay, the most renowned brand is Jolly-Just. If at all maybe you don't know, it's just a processed flavor. They put them in different flavors. We have mango flavors, orange flavor, pineapple flavors and what, all those things. So it's just helping you to take more and more water. But actually for children, it's mainly used now in areas, mainly used by children just lick it and like that. They literally don't know the purpose for it, but the main purpose and the core purpose is just to enable you take as much water in a day as possible. So literally I take 2 of them, and it's so beneficial for me. Every morning when I wake up, and I take 1, and then maybe in the middle there throughout the day I take the other remaining liter. It's just so beneficial, and it has helped me kept me moving and well hydrated and what. Necessarily people take water for hydration purposes and what. Me personally, I take water for a different cause. Of course that one is also a major factor and everyone would consider using it, but for my case I take water to to keep me to give me some form of fasting. You get, so fasting is essential in water. Now since I've added maybe a flavor or what, flavors at times they contain some form of nutrients, so the sodium, chloride and what. So these ones, they just help me to supplement on the nutrients that I may be missing maybe by not eating and what. At times food and thirst is maybe put together somehow. Sometimes you may feel like you need to eat, yet indeed you're just thirsty, you need to take some water. So most of the times we end up eating food instead of maybe taking water, just because maybe we are feeling like we need to eat something or to take something. Instead maybe you're just thirsty, but you end up taking water, and that's actually the big big service to your body, in that of course the body has this form of the thing that you need. If at all you're giving your body 8-hour fast or 13-hour fast, it helps you kill out the unnecessary cells. Of course it's like maybe you're running in a marathon, and then you find some people that are running, and when the first lap or when the first 100 meters people are running and everyone is engaging into that, but the further you go, you're moving now 200 meters, those that are weak, they follow off, and by the time you reach 2050 500 meters, everyone is actually those that are they can't manage, they fell off long time ago. So it's just like that for your body. The healthier cells are the ones that can withstand the longer hours of not eating and what. So they're the ones that survive, and the ones that keep your body healthier than these other cells that are weak, that are just destroying your body. They're the ones that cause gray hair, wrinkles in the face, and everything just like that. Just they're just useless cells, I would say. And this one just drives me to the next habit that I really treasure so much, and this one is the strategic movement. Strategic movement, I just take it, moving while doing something, or you're having a Sunday walk. And my Sunday walks literally make them, I move with a notebook. It's just they just help me learn, not even necessarily learn, but I get much more ideas when I'm having a Sunday walk, because I move around, people around the areas. I experience, try to see what people are experiencing, the challenges that may be facing, in the society, and what, of course, as a medical student, most of the times I be around the hospital, so I move around the hospital, going from ward to ward, checking out the different wards, to see what people are going through, or go to the billing department to see how the charges and everything, so I can help out, or can come up with solutions to help out different people, just like that. And this one helps me to exercise, to learn a few many other things that I really need to do at the moment, and it has kept me going, and it has kept me healthier than probably a number of people out there. And now let's go to the third habit. This one is so I feel it's actually a habit that everyone would adopt, and that's mastering your sleep. My sleep, I literally sleep at midnight most of the days and wake up at 7 a.m. and that's like 7 hours of sleep. Sleep has a number of advantages that actually outweigh even what people really think. Just by sleeping, you're just helping out, everything runs smoothly in your body. Sleep, now to a student, sleep helps out in memory consolidation and organizing your memory in a way that you can literally be able to remember things maybe tomorrow, or a week's time, in a month's time, or a year's time, and even years. So it organizes it in that way of order. But at times, if at all you're not having sleep, there's a certain way things really, even what you read yesterday, you easily you can't remember actually necessarily what you had, or what you even seeing at the moment. Maybe after a few minutes you can't really your memory is very weak for that, if at all you're not having sleep. And how I do it, I just choose, my room literally is always dark, and I go to my room necessarily to sleep. I don't really be in my room most of the days, and I just go there to sleep, so I don't really enjoy lights around my room. And if at all I read from class, and so I just chose that purposefully. So I don't know, my brain is wired in a way that if at all I reach my room, it's time just to sleep, there's no other thing. So, and in the morning I just wake up, I put a window, morning light just draws to my eyes, and somehow they just wake up. I don't know, it's just now the body is just used to it. And maybe you could also adopt something similar or something related, and that has helped me moving. And now I go to that fourth habit that I really adopted, and this one's just it gives me the way to go, and that's managing my mind. It's just like when you try to understand yourself and managing or consolidate, it's like a form of meditation. When you're in a state where you control your mind, you control what you think, you control what you see, you're in a state of proper mental health. You get proper mental well-being, it's good. And I do the things, there are many other things. Many people try to use meditation apps and everything, but now for me the best thing that I really try to feel is actually good and more applicable for me is having nature therapy. Nature therapy is why I go to maybe sit around trees and listen to birds, listen to things just like that. At times people now for us to have tourisms and what people go to wildlife centers and maybe game parks, game reserves, and to have that form of therapy. But personally I do it on a daily, why I stay things you can literally have fun. Forests, you can easily access them, you can easily access trees, you can easily just a walk away from town, you can literally access something that can make you feel good. Towns are it's not that much a developed town just as maybe other towns could be, so can literally have this, and I really enjoy this. Every time I leave that place, I feel I feel good. I feel so good that literally I have no stress. Even the stress that I had, maybe it has already disappeared, and it makes me having good good memory. And all there I just do breathing exercises, taking in deep breath, and then releasing, just like that. It gives me the life that's, it's just a maneuver that's so good. And now it takes me, or this draws me to the final habit, and that's cooking my own food. Of course, this one is really hard, and mainly now in our cultures, like where I come from and where I grew up from, cooking wasn't mainly for the boys. It was literally for the girls. But I tried to learn it because it was giving me the way. When I joined university, I literally never knew how to cook. Like, cooking wasn't my thing, you get. But I realized I was spending lots of money, on eating, and I was eating bad food out there. Food isn't, food that's not, so oily. Like, they don't literally understand you. Of course, they cook for the majority, not necessarily for you only. Of course, that's when maybe for those fancy, 5-star hotels and what, that's where maybe they try to cook for that maybe aligns your interests. But mainly for the other things, they just cook food not balanced up, like the nutrients you need or what you really need from the food and what. So by cooking my own food, since now, like, I learned some form of that and what for the years. Of course, for the 5 years I've been in medical school, I've just tried like all the things to learn more about myself or my own body, that maybe I could try to apply the same thing to other people's bodies, but necessarily I just learn me and myself. So I try to know what I really need or what nutrients I really need. So the food that I really depend on are carbs, carbohydrates, and carbohydrates. For us, we have processed maize flour. We call it posho. You get posho and rice. I eat mainly white rice. I don't necessarily take brown rice, and I just boil it, just like that. And then mainly greens, because I literally wouldn't wish like to eat red meat that much. So I eat greens, man. Maybe some form of plant based foods, not animal products or animal foods like that. Of course, animal foods are good, but not on a daily basis. But if at all you're mainly dependent on a daily thing, plant products would be the best, and that's what I would recommend everyone to really embrace. And now to summarize all the thing, like, you need to know the habits that I learned, hydration, taking plenty of water as possible, movement, going to places that you really enjoy, necessarily doing that, and then mastering your sleep, knowing when to sleep, how to sleep, and what you really need while you're asleep, managing your mind, having therapies, trying to understand yourself, to know who you are, and then all those things. And then lastly is cooking your own food. Yeah, so that's the key takeaway. And if I told you have enjoyed this video, please watch out these other videos, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. See you next time.